So last time I thought we were going to be getting Qui-Gon, Dooku, and Mace Windu, but we didn't. I was wrong about the previous episode having that. It turns out it's going to be this episode instead. This episode's even shorter than the last one, so, you know, please leave a like and subscribe, click the notification bell. And I made 2 endings for my previous video, like where I went on a rant. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I haven't edited yet, obviously. It's been like 10 minutes, guys. All right, I haven't taken that long since I watched the previous episode. Yeah. I think a lot of people need to know the nuance in Star Wars when it comes to the wars. Okay, it's not just simple as one side of the heroes, one side of the villains. One thing's for sure: the Sith are evil, the Jedi are in the light, good. But it's always more complicated than that.
Are the answers
all right, there's Windu.
Master Katri's death in that file?
And there's Dooku.
No.
And Senator Larrick's testimony isn't enough for you?
Body to the Jedi Temple, so she can have a proper burial.
Okay, so
Something
Mace
more
Windu
should be done.
is
Since we are not members
is
of
not
the
a member of the council
we cannot
yet.
involve ourselves in local political skirmishes unless requested by the Jedi High Council or Senate.
Obviously, he plays by the book.
Your devotion to rules is...
Obviously, Dooku and Windu have very different opinions on how to do things. Windu's a by-the-books kind of guy. Dooku likes to be more of a renegade. He likes to do his own thing. Both are correct to do what they do. The problem is you have to find a balance, and I think both of them never really found a good balance. You know, Dooku's the kind of guy who would have kicked Anakin out of the council or out of the Jedi Order. Dooku's the kind of guy who would have let him stay. Let's go over the whole Padme situation. And it looks familiar.
Welcome to Raxus Secundus.
Raxus, that's it, yeah.
I am Jedi Master Windu, and this is Master Dooku. We are here to see Senator Larrick.
We are set.
Alright, something's off with them.
Because I hope for peace on Raxus, and I'm willing to do anything for it.
Yeah, that's the difference
confided
between
as
peace
much to
through
Master
strength
Katri
and
when she
peace
arrived.
through,
Being the Jedi that she
weakness, I
was,
guess, I
she
don't know.
refused to let me out of her sight. And she paid for it. With her life.
unless you killed her.
Senator, we've taken enough of your time.
Alright, there's already holes in the story, so... Did they kill her? She probably didn't see it coming.
It's obvious that he's hiding something. We should take this information back to the council.
What do you want?
Windu's obviously a lot younger here. He and Count Dooku were good friends, but they had completely opposite ideologies.
And before she could clear the area, they descended upon her.
Kind of like you're about to descend on them, huh? Turn around. You two are both very powerful with the
Firing
Force.
upon her immediately?
From what I can remember, it was terrifying.
Like from
if
up
Master
there.
Katri were fired upon here, why are there no blast marks on your ship? No damage?
Judging from your description, someone fired from the direction of the ship.
What a trust, like you.
There we go.
I will have the truth.
Dooku, stand down.
The guards killed her!
Oh, he wasn't in on it, or was he? Oh shit, droids! Behind you! Alright, this is more like it. Well, that's the end of that.
Tell us what really happened. No!
You fired on a Jedi up close and personal. This is a separatist planet. Isn't it?
Tell us your reason for killing Master Katri.
The group who learned Larrick was using his Senate seat to become rich at the expense of our people and planet. He was selling off our planet, piece by piece, all from his comfortable residence on faraway Coruscant.
Why did you let the senator live?
Because we were going to force him to put forth our own agenda at the next Senate hearing meeting.
Why didn't you...
Jedi are lapdogs of the Senate. Their bidding always comes first. It's evident throughout the galaxy. Jedi claim peace, but mostly keep law and order for the rich and powerful.
Katri was a Jedi. She would have listened.
Yeah, Katri maybe. What about the other Jedi? And the rest of the Republic? I don't know, some trying to claim the Republic is United States and, you know, I don't even know if the Separatists are meant to be the Confederates.
Your ideology?
Well, Dooku's not like the others.
I don't condone your methods, but you had every right to protect your planet. Make sure your people don't lose heart and evolve, Samaj.
My guess is he freed him later. They got her body.
Do you think the Jedi will truly keep peace if they continue to take everything the Senate says as law?
Luckily, we are guided by our council and not by politics. No
Yeah, but for how long? You can see how stubborn Windu is with this ideology. He thinks he has a little too much faith in the system. We disagree with his methods for now, but eventually he grew to enjoy that.
Flowed with certainty through.
Oh, just buried. I don't know.
I am told you will be presented with Master Catri's council seats.
I will.
This is how I joined the
Is
council?
this something you knew was happening before we left for Raxus?
Oh,
I was as surprised as
what?
you are now. Dooku, you decided to interfere in a way that led to a senator's death. I will speak to the council on your behalf.
Did Windu just screw him over? What just happened? Okay, I will say again. I don't see how the senator of the planet, the senator of the planet is supposed to represent the people of the planet. Obviously, there's certain interests that they're more concerned with. But when it comes to dealing with local issues, it seems like what they want in the Confederates is in the Separatists. I'm just going to say Separatists from now on. I keep saying Confederates. Seems like what the Separatists really wanted was for the federal government to have more power versus the Republic, which had less power in their federal enforcement. I guess they wanted more social welfare state systems, more like having the federal government go through and prepare areas. I could be wrong about this, but I feel like, hold on, is it really the Republic's job to take care of the planets themselves? I mean, there's what, 100 quadrillion people in this galaxy, and there's like centralized power, and there's, most planets and most systems don't even get a senator or a representative. Like one senator will represent multiple systems sometimes. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for, the federal government to try to get involved with all of this, because how would that even work? Right? Yeah, this is a lot different from our modern day where we have, for example, the United States has the federal system and then the state system. And I think oftentimes you'll find the conservative side is talking more about how the states need to handle their own thing, whereas the left-wing liberal or, progressive side will say the federal government should handle more local things. So I guess, is that what we're going with here? Are the Republic the conservatives and then the separatists are the liberals? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what political lines they fall under, because in some ways you could see Dooku as the conservative, and in other ways you can see him as the liberal. I mean, I think with Star Wars, one of the things about it is that it's made in such a way you can't really tell who represents who. I mean, George Lucas has outright stated that he based the rebellion off the Viet Cong and the Empire off the United States and not the Nazis, as we once thought. He says he's against imperial powers, and yet, he stayed silent for 8 years when the United States was being an imperial power because one of his heroes was in charge, and so he just ignored all of it. All right, that's where his bullshit really comes into fruition. But when you really see it this way, there's only really one way to view all this, and I think you get conservatives who will say that the rebellion were fighting off the oppressive state and trying to look for more localized shit. But no, the New Republic was not all about localization. They had federal powers, same as the Empire. All right, a lot of people actually preferred the Empire because of its power and imperial class, because the majority would get by. I think when it comes to conservatives, they're more likely to think about the minority. They're more likely to think about the localities, but they want the minority to be ruled on their own and just be represented in the federal system. Whereas the liberals are more likely to talk about the majority. They're saying, okay, 50% plus 1 will rule over, 49.999, or 50% minus 1, yeah. So 50% plus 1 will rule over 50% minus 1. That's the way they see it. And then there's different, but what they fail to see is that there's different regions. It's one of the reasons why we have the Electoral College in the first place. People say that takes away votes. Others say it gives them votes. I don't know. I do follow politics a lot. I do study a lot of it, but in an effort to remain ambiguous here, all I can say is it really seems like they originally had you think of the Separatists as the villains, but as time went on, they want you to think of the Separatists as being just as having all the right motivations and going about it the wrong way because they trusted a corrupt system of their own. They trusted Dooku, who was taking power from Palpatine, and they had different visions for what was actually going to happen. I don't know. You can see this is where Dooku's frustration with the Jedi and the Republic really take into fruition. So, what can I say? It's I wish I had a script or some notes here, but I'm just trying to go off the top of my head. And when there's a camera in front of me, it's so much more difficult to state my thoughts. Oh, well, please leave a like and subscribe, click the notification bell, and, I guess I'll talk to you next time.